Brett Kelly live here. Let me just get adjusted. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Okay, cool. It's been a while. Been pretty busy. But apparently we've been missing some Kenny shenanigans, so it's about time to bring back this stream for a little bit. So tonight we got Kenny versus Micah. Let's see. Micah is one of the Kansas guys that got top 16 at Worlds last year. Really good player. Kenny, of course, is a really awesome player. The Zion's finest leader and podcast extraordinaire. And also the guy that runs MHD. So we're going to get to check that out tonight. Let's go see what's going on in their Discord chat. Or maybe we'll leave them alone for now. Let's first actually just take a look at their lists. Alright. Micah's list should seem pretty familiar to you guys because this is the list I took to regionals a couple weeks ago. It's Han, Rangers, Hera, Gideon, C3PO, R2. So it's the full Rebel Care package, all you can get, plus the Rebel High Command, so you can't get much more support out of the Rebel faction than this. And you also have 2 smugglers thrown in to give you a couple extra activations and some objective play. It is a list that hits really hard. It has a ton of good command cards. It has a lot of command card control. Basically, you're trying to dig into your deck to get to On the Lam. It's a game-changing card. But even if you don't get On the Lam, you still have a lot of good Hunter cards. Your Rangers are going to be pumping out a ton of damage, especially on Nalhutta. The weakness of this list is it can get pretty crowded when someone pushes Riots and Vader into your deployment zone and you don't have anywhere to retreat to. Once those Rangers lose the double rerolls, they are a lot worse. So you want to make sure you always have kind of an escape route for the Rangers. The smugglers also are pretty fragile, and once they die, you lose those precious activations. Kenny is running a variant of his smuggler box. So basically, thanks to Kenny, the smuggler box has been redefined as anything that has 3PO, Han, and MHD. The box used to be, well, back in the day, the box was anything with 3PO and regular Han because they both had distracting. So you'd always throw Jin in there too because you get 2 evades and 2 blocks automatically without even rolling your defense die. But you know, old Han is out, new Han is in. So the new box, I mean, there's a couple different definitions for it, but pretty much you need MHD at least to run Kenny's box. And the reason for that is MHD has a card called Miracle Worker that when they take damage equal to their health, instead of becoming defeated, they recover 3 health instead. And I think it's, let me just look it up. I think it's any figure within 3 spaces, but it might be better than that even. Let me just look it up. Let's see. It's within 3 spaces, okay? So he needs to be within that box. The other thing is he also has a repair ability, or let's see what it's called. Medical loadout. You or an adjacent friendly figure recovers 3 health. So if you survive a couple big attacks from the Rangers, which of course Miracle Worker makes it easier to do that, then all of a sudden you can just start healing. And so a Han that you just did 12 damage to, all of a sudden he has 6 health again. So he's incredibly hard to kill later in the game when all your hunter cards have been expended. So the point of the box is to just last. And, you know, we're having some problems with the stream here. Let me just refresh this. See if I messed it up. Oh, so they are playing on Nalhutta. So this should give an advantage to the Han Ranger list. Alright, anyway, let's keep going with Kenny's list. He has Drakata, which is interesting because Drakata is he's a relatively long-range attacker, especially if he's focused. And since Kenny doesn't have any other hunters or anything, Drakata is going to be one of the primary focus targets. When he's focused, he can hit like 7 range pretty easy. Plus, he's got those great abilities between Shrapnel and his Surge for +2. His surges are I would say his surges are the best surges in the game. Shrapnel is a super versatile, super strong surge. So he always wants to get a surge through, so he's a good target for focus. The extra range doesn't hurt either. Kenny's also running Mac, which means he might have a couple spy shenanigans. His list, the traits are a little bit wonky. He's got Smuggler, Heavy Weapon, Spy, and MHD. So that's kind of a lot of very specific cards you need. You need Miracle Worker, you need Intelligence Leak, you're probably going to take collateral damage. So there's 3 cards that can only be used by one particular figure. So his list is a little vulnerable if he gets, let's say he doesn't draw Miracle Worker or On the Lam early. His list is a little vulnerable to having some wasted cards in the deck. He also, some reason, has Heroic Effort out, but he's running Smuggler, so I'm not sure why he has that out. It's not a Heroic Effort deck. Alright, well, let's take a look at the setup here. Kenny got the bottom, which is definitely superior to the top, just because these 2 pieces of terrain between this wall and these 2 blocking, and even over here, this wall, this gives you so many safe places to hide. If you're in this spot, or this spot, it is incredibly hard to get to you. In fact, these 2 spots, you can't see it from up here. You have to get all the way down here. And you can't even see it from like anywhere over here. You have to get all the way down to here. So it's like these 2 spots are so safe. These spots in the middle here are pretty safe as well. Now compare that to the top side. You can hide one guy here. Whoops, did I do that? Nope, he did. That was weird. You can tuck a guy here, which he's doing with Hera. But other than that, there's not really any safe spots. These 2 spots are really easy to get to round 1 to attack. These spots are kind of safe, but they're actually hard for you to get to. They're more than, I think they're about 8 spaces away from the deployment zone. Let's count. If you have Hera, you're going to be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is as far as you can get. These spots, though, are a little bit safer, but then it's like you're not going to be attacking round 1. So your other option is you can block off your deployment zone by putting some figures you don't care about here. Like you could put your smugglers here if you wanted to. Even just one of these spaces as kind of a meat shield. Especially against figures that have trouble making range. The problem with that is then your smugglers aren't doing anything super useful, so it's, yeah. Even if you put them in these two spots, that's okay. But everywhere else is vulnerable. Even in the deployment zone, it's like you have to hide all the way back here to be safe. So the bottom is definitely better. Now that we have another pretty balanced map, this is now the most imbalanced map. Obi-Wan's map, Anchorhead, was also pretty imbalanced. The top side was much better. Usually, especially if you had snipers, but the Jawa map is very balanced. Alright, so we haven't really been paying attention to the game. Looks like Hera got picked off already. Is that right? Kenny used both. Oh, what is going on here? Looks like Kenny used arcing shot to remove Micah's Hera. What got removed for him? Oh yeah. Micah's Hera is just gone. So with arcing shot, he could target this space and it would still hit Hera. So, you know, I'm not sold on arcing shot, but that was a very good use of it. Definitely getting the job done early there, taking Hera out. That's actually a really big swing. Micah has not activated Gideon yet. He has a focused Han, who's probably not going to get line of sight to anything. And he has 3 Rangers, none of them are focused. So this blue smuggler is his, I assume. He went and picked up a crate. This is raining freight. His red smuggler's in position to pick up a crate. Kenny's smugglers are sitting back. Kenny seems like he picked up 1 crate with a smuggler. His other smuggler's going to sit on the terminal. Micah could get a shot against this smuggler, but it's going to be a long range shot. It's going to be, let's see. The closest he can get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 because of the smuggler's minus accuracy ability. So he could focus a smuggler, focus a ranger to try to get that shot. But I'm not sure if a focused ranger shot against a smuggler is worth it just to get 2 points and stop him from a command card draw. The other problem with putting a guy here on raining freight is your opponent is going to probably drop crates here and here, which is super annoying because if you don't have mobile, you can't go get them. So you got to be, that's another problem with the top. The top has a lot of problems. If you leave a guy 2 spaces away from the impassable terrain, it's fine. Like if you're here, it's okay because they can put it in one of these 3 spots. That's fine. But anywhere else, I mean, if you're in any of these spots, you're not getting those crates. So you gotta be really careful about that. He is gonna focus the closest ranger and push him up. Kenny's Han. Where can he get to? He could go take a shot at Dash here, but he probably wants to stay in range of 3PO. He might take a shot at Micah's Han. 1, 2, 3, 4 from here. I believe he has line of sight. Yep, pretty easily. That would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range shot. Plus he's got Hera to add some range. Wouldn't be a bad idea. He would get return fired, but that shot will probably miss because Micah does not have Hera. He's probably going to just save Han for the end of round, though. Yeah, this map is so imbalanced. Even though Micah lost Hera, he's not out of it. His main source of damage is the Rangers, and of course Han is amazing as well. But Kenny is just, it's going to be really hard to break up the box. Kenny's also running a 9 activation list, which means he's going to get the last activation of the round. But Micah should get to go first round 2. Micah also has one more card than Kenny. And he'll be drawing some extra cards. He didn't misplay by putting Hera out there, because there's really no way he could have known that Kenny was running Arcing Shot. And you know, I didn't think about this, but Kenny could have used Hera's Call the Shots on that Drakata attack. We weren't paying attention, so we're not sure if Hera's ability is still up or not. All right, so this is kind of what you have to do on this map to mitigate the advantage of the bottom side. You either have to push your figures to the left or to the right. I think it's usually good to look at where your opponent's figures are and see which lines of sight you want. Like if you push your figures to the right, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Han might have some harder. He might not be able to get good line of sight this round. You're also going to get some good lines of sight to Hera and to the 2 smugglers. From the right, Micah is getting lines of sight to Drakata, but he's also leaving himself pretty vulnerable to Drakata's blast, and also Drakata can plop another Demolish token down here to do some damage, so I'm not sure if moving to the left was the right choice here. Micah does want to get at MHD. I don't know. We'll see if it pays off. Mac, in the meantime, is going to go chill in this really safe little nook that I was talking about earlier. Mac's purpose is kind of to just chill until Intelligence Leak gets played. Because if you expose him before that card gets played, he loses almost all of his value. His 3 points He's not worth 3 points by himself. But with Intelligence Leak, he is. So you do not want him to die. So again, well, Micah just has Han left. He doesn't want to leave him too exposed because Kenny's going to move his Han up. But at the same time, there's not a ton of options. He wants to get an end of round attack, but like where can you go? How can he set himself up for a good end of round attack from this position? I can't really see it. Let's see. I mean, he could double move, but then he's like completely exposed. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, if he goes here and takes a shot from Han, he gets to fire back. Han gets to fire back. So he'd be taking 2 attacks for 1 attack. And then he gets an end of round shot. Kenny's Han gets an end of round shot. So he's taking 3 attacks and he's giving out 2 attacks. So yeah, that's not really worth it. Let's see. So he tucks himself here, which again, Dracata, his blast is going to just do a lot of damage here. He can just drop, well, let's see. He goes up to, let's say he attacks this smuggler. If he gets any surges through, that's blast 2 to all 3 of these figures. Maybe he'll collateral damage, so it's 4 damage to 1 figure, and then he could drop a demolish token to do, well, he would do 3 damage to 3. Probably kill the smuggler. I mean, that would be a huge attack. So yeah, he's got to watch out for this Dracata. In fact, that might even be worth using on the lamb on the smuggler just to dodge that giant Dracata attack. But I don't know, that's a tough call. You want to use on the lamb before Intelligence Leak gets played. However you can. Kenny, interesting. Kenny's going to save his Han's focus. And instead of going to attack the smuggler, he's just going to sit in his box. So Kenny's strategy is, I want to survive till I get all the cards I need to outlast my opponent. So he's going to just hit, the point of his list is keep all the health I can. Alright, so Micah's going to call the Vanguard. He's going to try to take out MHD here probably. Yep. MHD does have a evade from 3PO, and he's got 7 health. So this is going to be a really tough kill. MHD can also use on the lamb on himself. Right now we're looking at 5 damage, Pierce 1, so that would be 4 damage. So Assassinate would do the trick. But he's got to hope that Kenny doesn't have Miracle Worker. Looks like he's not being super quick to pull out the Assassinate, so maybe he doesn't have it. If he does have it, this is the time to use it for sure. He rerolls. He could have done 1 damage better with the reroll, but he also could have done 1 damage worse. So that's kind of a iffy reroll there. Ends up staying the same amount of damage. Should be 4 because of Pierce 1. I only see 3 popping up. Yep, so there's the 4th damage going in. Alright, and Micah also has initiative. And it looks like Micah's just going to go ahead and take his turn with the Rangers. You know, an interesting thing here, Kenny's Han is not in a good position to move up and attack. So if they didn't do crates. If Micah just attacks with his Rangers and moves back, Kenny's going to have a hard time getting to him. But again, he's got to be careful of Dracata. Actually doesn't finish off MHD here, which is super frustrating because if Kenny is holding Miracle Worker, now he's used 3 Ranger attacks, including one called the Vanguard and one focused, and doesn't kill MHD. So another weak roll here, but that is enough to get the kill. Let's see if Kenny pops out the... okay, so he's dead. He did not have Miracle Worker. That's a pretty big swing for Micah. Getting him off the board is super important. Alright, so Kenny actually does not have to rush with Drocata. Drocata has... Sorry, what was I saying? Alright. Yeah, so the crates are coming down here because the Ranger was here at the end of the round. Wait, was he? No, he wasn't. He was here. He called the Vanguard at the beginning of the round. Crates come out at the end of the round. Call the Vanguard happens at the beginning of the round. Okay. Kenny puts crates here, which I'm not exactly sure why. I guess so Gideon has to... I mean, Gideon's going to have to move up anyway. Gideon's in actually a really bad spot. So yeah, probably no one's going to get this crate. So actually, yeah, that's pretty good. C3PO doesn't really want to pick this crate up. So actually, yeah, these are pretty good crates. Man, a big defensive roll there from Dracata. This is actually no damage. Dracata is actually really hard to kill because of that built-in block when he's next to 3PO. The Rangers have a hard time against automatic evades. Kenny or Micah probably should have just picked up a crate and moved this Ranger into a more defensive position. Now his Rangers are stuck here till the end of the round because he activated them first. So Kenny can take his time. He is going to take one Han attack, but you know, a Han attack is not going to kill Dracata. So all Kenny has to do is sit back, focus up his Dracata, and then move in and kill all the Rangers. These Rangers are so vulnerable. This is really bad positioning, I think, from Micah here. Yep, so Kenny is not in a hurry. He's just going to move up, take some crates. Maybe he'll even block off his Drocata from Kenny's Han. So yeah, now Micah actually has no way to get to uh, Kenny's important figures. Man, that really limits Micah's options. What can Micah do? Well, he's gonna probably scomp and maybe he'll move Gideon up and focus somebody, but man, as soon as Kenny focuses Drocata, he knows. Uh, I mean, Micah's got to know the pain is coming. Now, honestly, I think Kenny's probably going to attack this far left ranger with Drocata, just because there's no chance of a dodge there. And he can shrapnel to do 1 damage to everyone, or he can do 2 to Han and the smuggler here, and then just flat out kill the smuggler with a demolish token. Yeah, so Micah is going to scomp. Kenny's probably just going to plop a focus on Drocata, and then that's going to put a lot of pressure on Micah to move his Han up and do something. But, I mean, what can his Han do? 1, 2. His Han can only get to these 2 spaces. So, he can't really get line of sight of anything good. He could move back 1, 2, 3 and shoot at Kenny's Han. But that's such like a weak attack. Strategic shift coming out for Kenny. Which means, man, that's like 6 cards down to 2. That card is really good, I think, in this current meta. Well, it's hard to say. It's really good against mercenaries and rebels. Against Imperials, a lot of the time, the Imperial player is going to use a lot of cards early. So you either have to use that card round 1, which isn't that useful, or, I mean, if you get it later, usually the Imperial player only has a card or 2 in his hand, so if you expect to see a lot of Imperial players, maybe that card isn't so great. Also, Intelligence Leak comes out. Alright, so maybe this is not the main school of thought, but sometimes you will use Intelligence Leak to look at the full, like, Micah had like 6 cards out there, right? So you can Intelligence Leak to try to snipe the on the lam. Instead, he Intelligence Leaks after Strategic Shift to make it so Micah only has 1 card. I don't know. They're both. I'm not sure which order I'm sold on. I think if you haven't seen on the lam, and if you're playing against an opponent that has at least one other really good card, like Son of Skywalker or something, you want to try to snipe those out first. But I guess since On the Lamb's the only big card that Micah has, maybe this order was fine. Honestly, Strategic Shift and Intelligence Leak are not the biggest synergy. Because if you Intelligence Leak, knowing your opponent's hand is like half the battle. So you don't want to Strategic Shift after that, because then you don't know your opponent's hand anymore. At the same time, You don't want intelligence leak after strategic shifting because then you only get to pick between 2 cards. So, I don't know. It's tough. Anyway, Tools for the Job is the card that ends up getting thrown out with that. 3PO, sorry, Gideon does plop a focus up on Drokata. Meanwhile, Micah moves his Smuggler up. Now, the reason he does that is he doesn't want Kenny to attack the Smuggler and get that Blast 2 on all of his Rangers. So that's a little bit of a dodge. But if Kenny wants to be really aggressive with his Drokata, he could go 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. And attack. He could even attack Han, I think. Yep. He knows Micah's hand. He knows that Micah does not have On the Lamb. Actually, so Hera just came over and sniped that Smuggler. This really opens up the door for Drokata to come attack Han. Because now Hera can even call the shots. Han... Okay, so 3PO is going to come up to give Han that extra evade. So that's going to discourage Drokata from attacking Han a little bit. But I think with focus and call the shots, you still take that shot. Especially because with collateral damage, you could potentially kill 3PO also. Let's say he does attack Han and he gets 1 surge through. That's 2 damage to 3PO and all 3 Rangers. I think you gotta go for that. Especially because he knows Han doesn't have On the Lamb. Plus it could be like 7 or 8 damage to Han too. Alright, so he moved his Drokata 1, 2 to here, which is not the best. He could have moved him 1, 2 to this space. And the reason that is a lot better is because Drokata needs to be closer for his Demolish ability. Demolish is within 3 spaces. So from here, he can demolish 1, 2, 3, this spot. Ooh, so, okay, he's going for a Ranger instead. Man, that would have been a really nice roll to get through onto Han, but instead he's going to get this Ranger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus his shrapnel. So it's going to be 8 minus 3 for 5 damage. And 1 on everybody else. Or he could surge for +2 and kill this Ranger. I don't know. I don't think you need to kill the Ranger right now because it's exposed and Kenny's getting initiative. I would do shrapnel. But yeah, again, he could have been a little bit closer and then he could have gotten the demolish off. But in fact, he could have gone 1, 2, 3 and then demolish here and then move 4 to here to make him a little safer. That's probably what I would have done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, he went 1, 2, and then I don't know where he's going to retreat back to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he added a surge with Hera to get to 9 and shrapnel. And he's going to collateral damage onto 3PO probably? No, hold on. Yeah, so let's see. If he would have gone 1, 2. If he would have attacked Han, he could have killed 3PO there. Maybe. I mean, if Han rolled an evade, then probably not. I don't know. Maybe that was probably the right choice, I guess. Unless if he had an element of surprise, it would have been a no-brainer. Go for Han. But yeah, again, like he could have gone 1-2 and then back to the same spot and gotten a demolish off on these two guys. Or, you know, what I said earlier, move up to here, get a demolish on 4 dudes. Plus, putting a difficult terrain here actually really messes with Micah's ability to position his rangers. Because this one then has to go 1, 2, 3, and then he can't retreat with him, so I think that would have been really nifty. Micah, he's actually in a pretty bad predicament right now because Hera dying early really hurt him. And he really doesn't have any way to get to Kenny's good figures. And Gideon is himself, he's pretty useless too right now. I'm not sure what he just did there. He focused a smuggler. Is that worth it? I probably would have just picked up a crate instead of focusing a smuggler. Double move and pick up a crate. That's a little questionable, I guess. Or he could have pushed the smuggler so the smuggler picks up a crate. Kenny moves a smuggler up. And why did Kenny not pick up a crate? I'm confused there too. Kenny should have picked up this crate. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm really confused. Man, what's Micah gonna do? He is... Drokata just completely messed up their lane. I mean, with this Demolish token here, as Micah, you have to... This was here really early, I think. I think that was there round 1. And that was before Micah pushed his Rangers that way, so... I mean, with that there, you gotta probably think, maybe the Rangers are not best going this way? I don't know. Because this really messes up, because you can't really get a guy here safely to shoot this way. It really messes up your lines of sight. Man, what do you do? I don't know. I think Micah's in big trouble. Kenny's Han is a little bit out of position, but I think Kenny just waits till the end of the round and double moves Han up to get in position of Gideon or something. Maybe he goes to pick off another Ranger. I think you double move with Han this round as Kenny. Drokata is actually focused again. Man. Kenny's box just seems so impenetrable. Even without MHD. I mean, if MHD was still alive, can you imagine? Drokata would heal all 3 of that health. Oh, that would be so disheartening. Just Kenny box things. Man. You know, oh man, what is this? Micah's gonna double move his Han. Man, this is like a... This is a really all or nothing play here. Micah, I guess, is a little bit desperate now. He runs in and uses Toxic Dart on Han, which means that's actually pretty decent because now if Kenny's Han attacks Micah's Han, both of his first attack and his return fire are going to be -1 surge. And Hera already used her call the shots, so not really any ways to pump extra surges through. That's not too bad. The only problem is Micah's shots are also going to be -1 surge because 3PO's right there. And the difference is they're also going to be -1 damage because 3PO's right there. So 3PO being next to you is better than 3PO being next to you is better than having your opponent be weakened. Man, what's happening right now? Black market prices just came out to sell Miracle Worker. So black market prices, since Kenny's list is kind of wonky with traits, he has that in there to mitigate his wonkiness. He's able to sell some of the useless cards. And he's using tools to add a red die, which does get him a surge in. Wow, what a roll. That's a really good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. -2 blocks for 7. Man, that is just sick. I don't know why he would even re-roll that, to be honest. I guess he gets to draw a card. Can't get any worse, I guess. Seven damage, that's pretty good. Micah can return fire. You know, actually, never mind. He definitely should have rerolled that because... Could he have got the kill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. -2. Let me think for a second. It's -1. Surge. And there's an evade. So actually, yeah, he could have gotten worse there. I think I miscounted the damage there. First, I'm not sure how that ended up being. He had 3 on him. I don't know how that ended up being 8. The return fire here is right now 1, 2. Oh man, good rerolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. 8 -2 is 6. Now Kenny returns fire. And this is going to kill Han. Yeah, I don't think moving Han in there was the right choice. That's the game, I think. I'm not sure if they're going to call it now or what, but Han still has movement points. He could move up to get in range of 3PO. He should be getting initiative. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the game. Looks like he's not going to use his movement points. He's just going to chill. Wait till you draw on the lamb, I guess. All of Micah's smugglers are dead, which means even if he draws on the lamb now, it's useless. I think this is the game. I don't see how Micah can come back from that. I'm actually surprised he didn't use his movement points. I guess he's afraid of taking initiative, so that probably means he was not holding on to negation. 3 cards come out for Micah. Neither player with an end of round attack. How do you penetrate this box now? I mean, right now, Drakata can just move up super aggressively. I mean, what is he even going to do with initiative? If I was Kenny, I'd just let him take it. What's he going to do with it? So Micah does take initiative, but it's like he's going to have to tap one of his smugglers. I mean, what do you even tap? You got a focused smuggler. I mean, that smuggler's got to be picking up crates. Like, I don't know. This is maybe also not the mainstream opinion, but in my opinion, if you can't do anything with initiative, don't play take initiative. I mean, yeah, he needs to activate his smugglers before, or his rangers before Drakata goes. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I guess you have to. Because Drakata's focused, and he's going to kill one of those rangers, and he's probably going to kill 3PO as well. Who do you go for with Drakata here? I guess you just go for the bottom ranger. Kenny's not even going to bother. Oh. Micah is tapping 3PO. That makes it a little bit easier on Kenny. Just because now he knows he doesn't have to go for 3PO first. Otherwise, killing 3PO before he can activate is huge. So, it's a little, I guess, a nice thing for Micah is tapping 3PO makes it so Kenny's a little less likely to go for him. I don't know. At this point, it's like Micah's so behind. I don't really see how he can come back. His best hand would be assassinate. What else would even make an impact? Element of surprise or something, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can get line of sight to Han if he goes 1, 2, 3, 4 with his ranger. So if he did that and killed Han, I guess that would make things interesting. That's probably his best move. Otherwise, what's he gonna do? Kill us? Smuggler? He's gonna go for a smuggler. Man. Alright, so that's good enough to kill it. No tough luck. So with his other ranger, I guess he's going to go for the attack against Drakata but he's got to push 9 damage through, and Drakata has a built-in block and evade. So I don't think that's possible. Let's see. The best he can do is if he rolls all damage against a black die evade, that would be 6 damage, and then he could assassinate. But that is like such a... that would be so lucky. Kenny is going to use On the Lamb on his smuggler. At this point, he's just trolling. He goes and picks up some crates with him. Wow. That's just rude. Very rude, Kenny. Very rude. That is so rude. Wait, what happened? He can't... why? How did Alpha get back there? Kenny can't move this guy back here. Kenny? I mean, I guess he could. He would die, though. What just happened? How's Alpha back there? Smuggler moves, gets the crate. He can't... I'm confused. How's Alpha still alive? And there. What? This roll is gonna do... let's see if he's got range. 4, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He doesn't have range. That is so rude. Kenny, what are you doing? Wow, jeez. Kenny, why? Why are you so rude? Can't you just play the game like a normal person and not run this stupid box? Goodness. Kenny is the new Ugnaughts. Alright, that's a pretty good reroll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pierce 1. He does have the range now. So 5 against 3 blocks. It's really 5 against 2 blocks for 3 damage. Would be really nice if he had Assassinate here. Man. That collateral damage, I think, won the game for Kenny, to be honest. Well, that and getting the bottom. I mean, jeez. How lucky can you get? How lucky can you get? Kenny doesn't even need to roll his dodges. Just Kenny things. You're gonna get a reputation, Kenny. You gotta watch out. Oh, you know, I was hiding this. I was hiding the chat. I did not see you guys talking at all. Anyway, hey guys. Thanks for watching. What is happening now? Han's going and return firing. Man, still no assassinate. If he had assassinate there, that would have killed Han. I think this game's over now. I don't really see anything that Micah can do. Because Kenny's getting guaranteed initiative next round. He could he hasn't used take initiative yet, so he could have initiative the next 2 rounds. So he can be super, super aggressive. Just move Drakata up, get a couple attacks here. I mean, yeah. Kill 3PO with a Blast 2. And now he's within range of Harris call the shots for this attack. Yeah, this game's over. I mean, Kenny only needs 10 points. So, kill, pick up 2 crates, that's 4. Pick up these 2 crates, that's another 4. And then kill 3PO or something, I don't know. Yeah. Or just kill this ranger. Yep. GG, GG. Super rude player. Kenny. Man. Kenny, why are you so rude? Yep. Kenny is the new Ugnaughts. I told Kenny if he gets MHD to top 16 at Worlds that I owe him a beer, but honestly, I've seen him play. I think that's not far-fetched at all. I think he can do it easily. Yeah, he's going to be just playing super aggressive right here with Hera. -1 surge. He's got the accuracy. That's 3 damage. I mean, probably should have just gone for the wounded one. Here he is being rude again, making it not as easy as it could be. All he needs to do is pick up these 2 crates and kill this dude. Instead, he wants to try to set up some kind of double kill with Drakata. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's going to do Blast 2 on 3PO, and then he's going to move up and shrap. He actually can't get quite there. 1, 2, 3. He can't move into this spot. I was going to say he's going to move up here and put a token thing down. Kenny is the worst. Wait, oh, Gideon pushed him up. So he is going to do what I just said. Look at him go. Getting the double kill. How rude is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blast 2 and dropping a demolish to get to 40. Man, gotta make it. Gotta be flashy. Can't just pick up crates. Gotta get that double kill. Such a Kenny move. Man, poor Micah. Poor Micah. What a game. That was a really good game. Kenny played his list very well. His command deck ran so smooth. That early collateral damage was just money. I don't even know what else to say. Like, Dracata is a really good figure. I don't think anyone's really gotten his full potential out of him, just because he doesn't really have the synergy with other figures. Collateral damage is like only him, and if he dies, it's useless. You have to get collateral damage out early. But with Kenny's list, with MHD, you can hang on to these cards longer than you would normally want to, just because Dracata's going to be hanging around. The other thing is, like, Dracata and MHD work pretty well together, because, like I said earlier, Dracata's just so hard to bring down with that built-in block, plus you got 3 POs of aid. So with 3PO, or with MHD healing him back up, man, it's like, if you don't kill him round 1 or 2, you're probably not killing him, period. Man, same with Han. Kenny's starting to sell me on MHD, to be honest. 5 points is a lot, but it just lets you access, I'd say, the full potential of Dracata. I really like this Dracata MHD synergy. And MHD and Han work really well together too. Just Miracle Worker and On the Lamb is such a stupid combination of cards. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kenny's list is really good. I really like it. Now what about the spy flavor? Do you really need the spy flavor? What else would you throw in there instead of Mac? I don't know. I think the spies actually really work with this list too. This is a really well put together list. Props to Kenny, because this is super original, this list he's made. And man, this is just like an example of taking an idea and sticking with it and just perfecting it. I think this Dracata box is really good. I really like it. Yeah, I mean, Micah was running my list and just got demolished, and I don't really see what he could have done super differently. I mean, I probably wouldn't have pushed Hera up that far so early, but he couldn't have known that Kenny had uh, arcing shot. So, I mean, I was even pointing to that spot saying, this spot is safe. I was like, this spot is so safe. At the same time, Micah plopped Hera down there. I was like, yep, that's a good spot. Dracata comes up. Oh, Hera's dead. I wasn't even looking at the screen when it happened. So, I don't know. I think Micah maybe would have had better luck if he pushed to the right side. Especially on Raining Freight, just because this corner gets kind of important near the end. He was not getting good trades here. Plus, if you push the right side up, you got Rangers, which can shoot from up here. There's a couple good spots to hide, but if you're over here, those spots shrink. You have a couple figures that aren't going to fit in your hiding spots. So, I don't know. Maybe with snipers you go this way. I mean, I'm not totally sure. Yeah, I think Micah maybe could have played that a little differently. I think pushing his Han up at the end was a big mistake too. Especially since he hadn't played On the Lamb. But at that point, I think he was kind of mentally out of the game. So that's what happens. I mean, he set his guys up in a big chunk here, which is just like Dracata was just licking his chops like, I'm going to kill everybody. Anyway, I don't know. Kenny played really well. He did have the good side. It's so much easier to play from the bottom. I'd like to see this matchup again on a neutral map. But I think Kenny just won earlier too. I don't know. It seems like Kenny's really prepared for Worlds. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to get some more streams in this week. My schedule should be slowing down a little bit. I've been pretty busy with wedding planning and stuff. Anyway, good win, Kenny. And I'll catch y'all later.